Signing in. Oh, you connect D to students. That's it.
Please talk if can you tell us what you're doing, if you don't mind?
Oh.
Because it's recording.
I just signed into fundamental of AI concepts on Microsoft Joining.
Samuel,
Oh.
it's in. What is SN?
My initials.
Right, see, now if you don't log in, it won't show you that. Right, I want you to have a record of what you are studying. Okay, because once you complete this, you're gonna look for the fundamentals of machine learning. Next to your name is a magnifying glass. Click on it, look for fundamentals of machine learning. Fundamentals of machine learning. Search. Lower. On the left-hand side, it says credentials. Go to credentials, left-hand side.
Credentials.
Credentials.
Oh yeah.
Right. Great. Microsoft fundamentals. Click on fundamentals. If you teach me anything about machine learning.
No, it's not.
Go Python. Python. Maybe go Python. Something like Python. I'm looking for fundamentals of machine learning. No. No, not Azure. Fundamental. Okay, go to training. And there we go. Understand data science and machine learning. Click on that. Right. I want this one. I want this. So for those of you who messed up on the test and you gave me the wrong certificate, those of you who haven't given me the certificate, I want this.
Some idea.
I don't know.
No, this year, I felt like I needed a presentation for my own semester. But it's just,
Mission Shut down. Let's control the mind to estimate how the person is going to be. Which might like to see on social media or decide whether about the conflict or this process of the that's
That's that's not.
included in range.
Right, so I want fundamentals of machine learning and I want understanding data science. But all of you are going to become data scientists. Well done. Here's your name there. See, that's what I want to see. I want to see your name. I want people writing in their name on the certificate.
And data. Train and run your first model of the people training. So you don't train gets contact with us and don't face to the all that. It's managing.
So if you look at the WhatsApp group, I want the fundamental. There we go. Importing pandas. Right? Import pandas. The first thing you need to do is load data. We'll cover this in more detail later on. Now, the data we loaded for the test was my solar panel, the data, right? Go a little bit lower, Samuel. Convert it into a table. There's the data set. Do me a favor, put the sound off on your hearing it echo. Hearing it. Right? You just mute your sound pretty low. Print this slower. Convert it into a table using pandas, data sets that came out in the test, a data frame. Another word we use is data frame. Little bit lower. Little bit lower. Little bit lower. Lower. Right. There's the table that we saw. My table had photovoltaic current and it had a date and time. Little bit lower. When I say lower, come on that side, please, Samuel. Right, there we go. Now, I haven't taught you about a model as yet, but I hope you would have learned on your own the algorithm that we use to make a prediction, right? That's what we're talking about here, a model. The model that they talked about is stats model.formula.api. Oh, there's another lovely word, API. What is an API? There's that if not if statements. A little bit lower. We're going to be talking about training our model. We want to train our model according to what our specific needs are. And that's based on the data of 80-20. Right? A little bit lower. You're going to read all of that. A little bit lower. Right. Import matplotlib.myplot as PRT. I did a graph with you in the past 2 weeks ago. The graph was in the morning at 6 o'clock, the sun was low. At midday, the graph increased in height and the slope decreased. That was the graph that we had discovered based on time of day, the energy of the sun, and so forth. Right? Matplotlib is a library. We are using the data set, in this case was, what's the data set called? Boot size. In our example, I use my house detail, Prinavin's solar panel, obviously here, .txt. You remember that? A little bit lower. Here's the graph. Here's the graph and it's plotting. Now, to me, this didn't make sense, but what made sense was the data that I obtained from solar panels at home. A little bit lower. And you will read all of that, right? Okay, go to the next, continue, click on continue. What is input and what is output? We did this in C++ programming. Any program has input, processing, and output. Same thing I'm going to be talking to you about in machine learning. Input, processing, and output. But this time, I'm going to be using the computer to be able to make a prediction. Right? Processing is going to take place in the computer. I'm not going to teach the computer an algorithm. The algorithm is a model that I'm going to be using. All right? I'm going to give it 80% of test data, and I'm going to use 20% of the test data, and then I'm going to determine how accurate is my model. If my model is 70–80% accurate, I'll say, hey, that's okay, that's not. Right? Let's go a little bit lower. Samuel? Right. Data. What is data versus information? What do I mean by optimizing my model? I'm going to take questions from the test 2 from here. Test 2 is going to be approved in about 5 weeks' time. Right? By then I clear market test 2. Okay. A little bit lower, Samuel. What does it mean by visualizing your input and output? Continue. Click on continue. Oh, listen to this. Data sets in Python. I already gave you 3 introduction to Python. We have a trace table of Python program. I showed you how you can convert our C++ programming into Python. You know what is a panda? Pandas handle data, not the panda, not the bear, right? Not the panda bear. Data set, print the data. You know how to do that. That came out in the test, right? Let's activate a sandbox. I like this word sandbox. You may not know this. When we were small, we used to play in a sandbox, a sand pit. We played with the sand. We went outside. Today, your students, all your is cell phone, tablet, laptop, computer. Right, so sandbox. Right, there's data by columns. Continue. What's a data set? Continue. 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 Lower. Lower. Right. How do we use a model? Click on that one. You need to train the model according to the data that we have, and we're going to make the model up. We're going to take 80% of the data. That's why we download data sets. We don't have time to get the data. I have an IoT device sitting at home, solar panels. I've got a Wi-Fi setup out there, and it's going to give me the data. I can do that for you now if you like. Go on, read. Lower. Go on. Right? So you're gonna read all of this, and at the end of it all, you're gonna get a certification. This certificate needs to be printed with your name and student number on it. And I will accept that in test 2 to make some. Right? Continue. Continue. Go right to the bottom. Continue. Right. There's my knowledge check. Let's try and get the answer. What makes machine learning algorithms different from traditional algorithms? Traditional. Machine learning algorithms are always more complicated to build than traditional algorithms. I actually don't think so. Talking. Machine learning, now that we use a computer to learn, teach it, I don't think so. Machine learning algorithms must be changed every time they use. In fact, machine learning algorithms, you can set it up and then you can import it into another and use it in the data set. Machine learning algorithms are shaped by data directly as part of development. Traditional algorithms are mostly based on theory, on opinions of the person writing the code. I don't know. Take a calculator and guess salary. With A, B, or C. First option, second option, third option. Next one. When do we perform training? When do we take our data sets? Is it when we want to use the model? When we want to improve the model? Every time we load a model from file. First, second, third option, Samuel. Yes, doesn't matter. You can do it again. Okay, Samuel says every time. Next question. What is the relationship between a model, an objective, and training data? The training data is used to make changes to the model. These changes help the model get better and achieve the objective. The training model is used to make changes to the objective. The model is used to make changes to the training data. I don't know. Take a calculator guess, Samuel.
Change between integers, optional data, better field, objective.
Samuel, take a calculator guess. Check your answers. Whoa! You earned 400 points. Right. Listen to this. When do we, first one is correct. Take it down. Because you're going to be doing the same thing. The next one is, when do we perform it? We perform it only when we want to improve the model. Remember I said we can use the model again. And Noah? And what is the relationship with the training data is used to make changes to the model? That's why we use training data. All right? And continue. So I'm giving you some answers. What's the recording? You'll have the answers out there. Just summary, I want you to go through that. All right, come, go down, Samuel. Complete the module. Click on complete the module. Okay, now, without Samuel going and understanding everything, what is certification for your state? Next one. Build classical machine learning models with supervised learning. There's another term, supervised learning, unsupervised learning.
So I'm not doing this 52 minutes long.
52 minutes. Yeah, we shall do at home. Oh Lord.
2 hours.
Design machine learning solution. Work with compute targets in Azure machine learning. We're going to be talking about Azure. Go back to the top, and let's look at where Samuel is. Samuel is now on level 2. And Samuel can use these certifications in his CV. So by the time he leaves DUT, he would have collected a hell of a lot of certificates. Start my laptop, please, Samuel. Use one of the. I don't think she's using her computer. She's using it. Right. I'm going to give you 10 minutes to work on that. Right?
So how do you redo this?
How do you redo it?
Yeah.
Go to the top of your screen. Go to introduction to machine learning. Click this. And start. So come down. Doesn't matter. You copy it. Click on the top. Start.
Where does it say start?
Beginning. Come lower. Introduction. Go to introduction. Click on it. Right.
Right.
Gonna check out on the other side.
Oh shit. At my expense. You can't read it. Wow.